There's a looming leadership crisis at the University of Ghana, which has been held before an Accra High Court for some alleged irregularities in the search for a new Vice Chancellor. The university statutes demand that processes are initiated for the selection of a new Vice Chancellor at least a year prior to the position becoming vacant. Well, tonight we are learning that with barely 2 months to the end of the tenure of the current Vice Chancellor, Professor Ebenezer Oduro-Wusu, the university is yet to conclude processes for the appointment of a successor. And now a suit seeking to injunct and ultimately nullify the entire work done by the search committee since it was established in September 2020. My colleague Kweku Asante joins me with a copy of that writ of sermons. Kweku, who is suing the university and what are the demands therein?
All right, Aisha. So this student, a former student of the University of Ghana, Patrick Justice K. Enin, completed the University of Ghana in 2012 and is saying, and according to his writ of sermons that we've just cited, he's saying he wants a declaration that the search committee for the new Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana was unlawfully constituted in breach of prevailing law by the inclusion of Mrs. Vesta A.A. Nunu and Professor Bafwa Jimendua after their tenure of office had terminated, and B, a declaration that meetings and decisions taken by the search committee and recommendations made pursuant thereto are now void and of no legal effect, and then finally, an order of injunction directed against the defendant from implementing any decision or recommendation for the position of Vice Chancellor from the search committee, which included Mrs. Vesta A.A. Nunu and Professor Bafwa Jimendua, those who won't cost any other reliefs as the court may deem honorable. And so this student is contending that because these two persons that I've just mentioned tenure had expired on the search committee or the university council, they could not have taken the decisions they took while being members of the search committee. And so for this reason, this student, a former student, won the nullification of the entire process.
Do we know the composition of the search committee in question?
Right. So this search committee is a very eminent search committee. It's chaired by Justice Jones. Mawolo Ndoche is a Supreme Court justice. The other nominees are Professor Bafwa Jimendua, whose name has been cited in this suit. Mrs. Vesta Nunu is also a council appointee cited. And then Mr. Richard Okra. There's also Professor Akosi Adomakwambo for Professor Gordon Awendare, and then Professor Kwejo Apeje Etua of the University of Ghana Law School. And then finally, the secretary to the search committee, Mrs. Mercy Hazeleshia, who is the registrar of the university.
Well, the dean of the University of Ghana Law School has been reacting to this suit in a strongly worded article. What does he say?
Right. So Professor Raymond Atuguba, as you rightly said, the dean of the University of Ghana Law School, says the suit is not only legally viable, but it carries the strong stench of an orchestrated suit by sore losers. I thought such behavior was not for a university of high repute such as ours. As a premier university, it is imperative that we order our affairs to continue to be deserving of that title. It says, in my humble opinion, this case is completely unwarranted for at least 5 reasons. And one of the reasons he says is that the university has enough measures to be able to deal with all these issues. And so he does not think this is something that should rise to the level of someone going to court. He said a number of things. For instance, he says that there's a misreading of the university statute, which says that the case is based on a very fundamental misreading of the law. It says 1 year before the post of Vice Chancellor becomes vacant, or when the post is vacant, the council shall appoint a search party. And so according to him, per his reading, those appointees of council may not necessarily be members of the council as at the time they are acting, but council could appoint from outside the council members.
My colleague Kweku Asante there with that statement. All of these have implications for the university's administration. Ghana Tertiary Education Commission is a regulator of tertiary institutions in the country. Its executive secretary is Professor Mohammed Salifu. He now joins us with more. Prof, what does the current situation mean for the University of Ghana?
Thank you for inviting me. I'm not sure what you mean by current situation. Can you please clarify that?
That the whole exercise of appointing a new Vice Chancellor to replace the outgoing one has landed in court.
Yeah, so it's a very normal statutory process that the council has initiated. And I really don't understand why it's in court. I'm not sure whether we can speak on the merits of the writ, but we think that the process that has been started is, properly founded, and we don't see any problem with that.
Okay, so but you are supposed to facilitate the constitution of the governing council, correct?
Yes, that is true.
Okay, so how did we get here then?
How did you get where?
I think the case now having to go to court for it to be settled, and even for the Dean of Law School explaining and describing the situation with those strong words he did in that statement.
I'm not sure what strong words he used to describe.
He describes the situation as a misreading of the fundamental processes that leads to the selection of a vice chancellor in that university.
Yes, and in that case, he will be agreeing essentially with me, because that's his view on the merits of the writ. And the point I'm making is that it's a very legitimate process which the council has started, and we don't have any issue with that. The council terms have come to an end, and we are in the process of reconstituting them. But that doesn't invalidate what has happened, what has been started by the previous council. So I don't see any issue here.
Well, Professor Mohammed Salif is Executive Secretary of GTEC. I'm grateful for your time. Let's head to Parliament now for some comments on the situation. Peter Nochukotoi is Ranking Member of Parliament's Education Committee. Honorable, has this University of Ghana situation come to your attention yet?
Yeah, it has. Thank you very much, and good evening. Yeah, it has come to my attention, but not of the committee, as I can say. The situation as it is at the University of Ghana, we are very much aware. We know very well that there was an order for all boards and various institutions, including public universities and colleges of education, had their term ended. But I cited a letter from GTEC, that's the Ghana Special Education Commission, asking the councils to remain in office until the new ones were formed, so that they could perform the day-to-day administration or counseling of the schools. Now, the University of Ghana, the current Vice Chancellor, term will end very soon. And I think has just about a month or so to go. So there's a need for a search party to look for a successor to him. And this thing could have been done long before this time, so that the newly elected or selected Vice Chancellor will take office, and then the old one or the current one will hand over to him. And that is the concern of the people, that once the term is coming to an end, with a few weeks to go, there should be named a new successor to him. There's no need for him by law to remain in office beyond the expiry of his or her term. So that is the argument they are making. I'm sure they are right. Once GTEC issued a letter that the council should remain in office, it should not waste any time for not appointing a new vice chancellor. To explain to the public or the university community why they are delaying the selection and appointment of a vice chancellor. So I think the council has a question to answer, so that people will have a rested mind as to what is happening on the campus of the University of Ghana. We know very well that when it comes to nomination and appointment of vice chancellors, a lot of things go on. And if we allow time to elapse so much, we will not be able to get a very good result out of the selection that they are making. So I think the university authorities should come out quickly, announce the vice chancellor, and then the matter will be put to rest.
I'm grateful for your time. Ranking Member on the Education Committee, Peter Nochukotoi.